Great rise. Yeah, man. My name is Herbal Laws, and this is the Herbal Laws channel on YouTube where we plant fruits and vegetables, but most of all, we plant herb for teas. The sun is shining, the weather is good. Yeah, man. So, thank you for your continuous support. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your input towards whatever video Herbal Laws upload on YouTube. So, in today's episode, I want to talk about mistakes that I made when started gardening or wanted to become a gardener. Yeah, man. Whole heap of mistake. Yeah. So I just want to share these mistakes that I made so that young and upcoming gardener don't make the same mistake. Avoid these mistakes. What is one of the first mistakes that I made? When I plant my fruit trees, I love to see them grow and grow as high as possible. Yeah? And because of the love for them, I never used to like to even prune up my fruit trees. Yeah? When they grow big, I love the shade from these trees. But what I did not realize that these trees were not allowing enough sunlight to come in the garden. Yeah? So because of these overgrown fruit trees, then a lot of plants, a lot of herb plants did not survive because of limited sunlight. So yes, that was one of Herbal Laws' big mistake. Avoid it. Yeah? Close friends and family would say to me, you need to prune up the trees so that, sunlight can come in the garden. Yeah? The reason why your mango tree may not be bearing is because it need more sunlight. And I would say to them, boy, I don't like cut my trees. Yeah? So that was a big mistake on my part. So don't make the same mistake. So since I prune up my fruit trees, yeah, like this June plum tree and this mango tree, yeah, because of the sunlight, I am now Herbal family, extended family. This part of the clip, went out. I didn't get the audio. But what I was saying is that the mango tree is now blooming or blossoming, so maybe I'll get mango soon. Because is now understanding the thing, getting with the thing, and pruning up the trees. So even recently I had to prune up this tamarind tree. And because I prune up this tamarind tree, then sunlight is able to come in this garden, and because of the sunlight to the garden, yeah, especially this time of the morning, yeah, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, the sun is right here. And as I said, corn love a lot of sunlight. So between 8:30 and 9, the sun shines straight here. Now, because this tamarind tree was so large, and also there was a almond tree here, it didn't allow the sunlight to come over this side. And then most of the times when I'm planting herbs, this is where I would place my herb plants, and they weren't getting enough sunlight. So after pruning up the overgrown fruit trees, I was able to plant other fruit trees. Like right here, I planted a lime tree. over here I planted a lychee tree. Now this is also another problem or another thing that one should avoid. You know, always make your plants, you know, take it off the ground. You know, so find something to put it on. It can, you know, come up off the ground. Now, if you look on this leaf, you will see a lot of dirt on this leaf, you know, because whenever time the plant water, it's on the ground. Now, what can happen to a plant like this? You know, because it's on the ground and when you water it, the dirt and everything flush on it. So when the leaves are on the ground, then the plant become prone to a lot of pests, you know. So you have to get something to take up the leaf off the ground. Yeah, so that is a mistake that a lot of gardeners make. Over here I was also able to plant a pear tree. So because of pruning up a lot of fruit trees here, then the sunlight was able to come over here. Now I want to elaborate more on what was happening to the lychee tree where the leaves were on the ground. Now there were other plants that I have, other herb plants, like I had oregano plants. I'm gonna look for a photo and post it right here. Yeah, what the plant look like, you know. So because of how the plant grow, it was always on the soil. Yeah, and because it was on the soil, another mistake that we make is whenever time, you know, like sometimes you would like to stand up with the hose and just spray the hose on the plant. Yeah, because it feel nice. But because the plant is always lying down on the soil and because of how you water the plant, then the plant eventually die. So I'm going to put a picture here to show you what the plant look like. Now, I wasn't realizing that it's because of some of the mistakes that I make why I was losing a lot of those plants, you know. So I eventually lose that oregano plant. There was another herb plant which was a black mint, which grew just like, you know, they grew like a running plant. And this plant was in the pot and it was always on the soil. And because of the same mistake of how I water the plant, those plants eventually die. I had a red clover plant which had the same issue. Yeah? So there are plants that can withstand all of these issues. You know? There are plants that can tolerate that, like I will show you this marjoram plant. So this marjoram plant was in the same situation, yeah? But because I realized now that this marjoram plant could withstand, yeah, all of those trauma, like the oregano plant, unlike the black mint plant, unlike the red clover, you know. Yeah, so those are some of the mistakes that herbal laws make, you know. Like even now I'm pruning up these dry stems, you know, or these dry leaves, you know. Those are some of the mistakes that we continue to make, and that's why the plants are not able to strive more, you know, because when you have a lot of these dry stems or dry leaves on the plant, you know, it suck energy from the plant. Yeah? And also one of the other mistakes that we make is not mulching our plants or not mulching the plants in our pot. You know, whether we plant in pots or whether we plant directly in the soil. You know, those are some of the mistakes that herbal laws make. Now, I am not telling you about mistakes that other people make. You know, because this is not a research video. This is my own mistake that I made. And I am sharing that you don't make the same mistake. Yeah? I'll do another video on the purpose of mulching and why mulching is important. Yeah? So, now I'm just cutting off the dry leaves. Yeah? So that the marjoram herb can survive more. So the marjoram herb can be used in, you know, in your cuisine. Yeah? You know, it can use instead of thyme. This marjoram plant can stand on its own, so it's not that it can use instead of thyme. Yeah? It is a plant that, you know, can stand on its own, so I don't want to tell you that you can replace thyme with this or you can, you know, replace any of them. Both herbs are great herbs, you know, and both herbs can stand on their own. Yeah, so yeah, cut off the dry leaves.
I'm growing, watch the seeds are sowing, so much in store from the me I explode.
Cutting off all these dry leaves and stems from the plant, you know, and even though it's a mistake not to allow the plant to strive, now these dry stems and dry leaf don't go to waste. What can you do with it? Yeah? Mulch. A mulch over here. Yeah? What can I do? I can then throw these things in the mulch area so it don't go to waste. Yeah, man. Yeah? And I'm also creating a video about mulching. Yeah, today would be the third day. Yeah, I'm creating a video for as long as how this mulch take, yeah, to become of use. Yeah, man, so none of those stuff go to waste. Yeah, so those are some of the mistakes. And as I said, I'll do another video in regards to mulching and why mulching is important. So there are some important things that one should think about when becoming a gardener or doing gardening. Access to water. Easy access to water. Now, if you are in an area like where I am, where we don't get a lot of rain, then you have to depend on the water that Water Commission put on your premises. Now, one of the big mistakes that we make is always depending on Water Commission. Water. Now, we pay a water bill and we should always have water, but it is not always going to be like that. So one of the big mistakes that we make is not preparing so that whenever time you get rain, you can catch some water, save some water to water the plants whenever water commission cut off. Them water. Me said them water, but it's God water. And it's the universe water. But because they invest in the water and put it on your premises, we have to pay for it. Because what is due unto Caesar, give it unto Caesar. But I'm saying that because I don't want to, delve in that, because that's politics. What I'm saying, one of the big mistakes that we make is not preparing for in case there is no water from the water commission side. Yeah, what are some of the things? You can set up a tank like this, yeah, where the water, whenever the rain fall, it can catch the water from off the roof and come down in this tank. Yeah. So you can also set up your pipe system where when you turn it off, turn it on, you get water. So you can turn it on, yeah, and you can have rainwater to use. There's not a lot in this now, but there's still a lick in it. So that's a mistake that we make where we can prepare. So that's one of the way that you can solve a problem like that. Now, if you can't afford a tank like that, or if you don't have a tank like that, then you can get, you have plastic drum, you have metal drum, where you can place it in different places of your farm or of your garden where you can catch water. You can also place the drum close to your roof, where whenever the water run off, it will run straight in that drum or that container. Whatever container it is that can store water, it is always good to have water so that whenever time the water commission water is not there, your plants will be able to get water. That if you plant corn like I do, yeah, the plants need water twice a day, morning and evening. Yeah, man. So what if you don't have no water commission water? Where you going to use? You have to store water in case. A mistake to avoid. Is not maintaining your garden. It's not maintaining your plants. Yeah? What is maintaining? What is caring for your plants? Just like how I showed you a while ago with the marjoram plant, have to clip up the dry leaves and the dry stem so that the plant can strive more, mulching the plants. Yeah? Sometime even I'll show you an example here. While I was replanting the oregano plant, when I take it out of the pot, I realized that most of the soil drain out of the pot because continuous water in the plants and because there are holes in at the bottom, the soil eventually wash out. So you have to replenish the soil. Yeah? You have to weed out around the plants. And as I said, I'll do a video about mulching and how mulching, limit the amount of weed around the plant and also mulching, protect the soil and also what mulching. So I say I'll do a video about that. But I'm saying one of the mistakes that we make is not maintaining our garden or not maintaining our plants. Yeah? Another big mistake that we make is not understanding the environment where we are. Yeah? and what kind of plants can survive in this environment. We have to understand the plants that can survive in the environment that you are. If you don't have enough sun, then you can't plant corn. Yeah? If you don't have enough sun, yeah, there are certain plants you can't plant. Yeah? Unlike a plant like the Panadol plant. Like the Panadol plant, which can manage drought. Yeah, a lot of other plants are not able to withstand those drought. Yeah? These are some other things. You know, when you see this happening to your plant leaf, then you have to, start observe like this. This is a stinking bug on this plant. And a stinking bug that love the plants. Trust me. We talk about the depletion of the soil from around the plant. If you look closely, you can see the root. So this can take some more soil in it. Yeah? So maintenance of your plants is necessary. And as I said, these leaves were bitten by insects, as I show you the stinking bug and stuff. But when you cut them off from the plants, they don't go to waste because they can go in your mulch container or go wherever you are creating your mulch. So these things don't go to waste. Yeah? No, so there's a lot of things that can reuse from the garden. Like the leaves from the fruit trees, the dry leaves from the fruit trees. Yeah? A lot of these things can be reused. Yeah? So that's even a mistake that we make. Instead of we reuse a lot of stuff, we constantly spending money on new stuff when we could save a lot of those money to do more important things for your garden. So a lot of things that can be reused, like creating your own mulch. Yeah, because if you don't create your own mulch, then you will constantly have to buy mulch from the plant shop. Now, it's good to support, but it's also good to save so that you can maintain being a gardener and you can maintain your garden. Yeah, so even though it's good to support the flower shop or the plant shop, it is good that you can save so that you can maintain your garden, maintain yourself, and continuing doing your garden. Another mistake that would make, we say we don't want to use certain fertilizer on our plants, but still we make the mistake not looking into how can we create, fertilizer from natural stuff to help our plants to get nutrients, help our plants to grow. And if we want the most natural stuff, then we have to learn to create our own compost. We have to learn to create our own natural fertilizer. Because a lot of the plants cannot survive without fertilizer. So you have to either connect with people, you have to either do your research, but information is key. Knowledge to whatever you are planting, whatever plants, whatever crop you are planting, knowledge is key. So one of the mistakes that we make is that we say, yeah, nature will just flow. I like to flow through nature. I like to flow through spirit. But in reality, a lot of plants, a lot of crops cannot survive without some form of fertilizer, some form of, compost to give the plants nutrients. So that's one of the mistakes that we make. Some of the plants need potassium. Yeah? Like this peppermint plant over here. So what are some of the things that you can do? You eat a lot of ripe banana. Yeah, you can store the ripe bananas in a container. Yeah, with water and allow it to steep, and you can use that to water the plants. Yeah, and it will get rid of the yellowness. But everything is a process. Because as I did a video the other day, and I said, since removing this peppermint plant to more sunlight, I see the difference. Since watering it with, the banana liquid, I can see the difference. Even try a thing recently, which I want to see the difference. I want to see the difference before I share it publicly. But I had a container, I had a 5-gallon bucket, because I used to brew roots wine. Yeah, and I have some roots wine in a bucket for probably over 6-7 years. And then the idea came to me. It was like a quarter of a bucket amount that was in it. And I fill it up with water, and I use it to water the fruit trees. Yeah? I use it to water the fruit trees. Like I water this June plum tree with it. And it look good. Same way it look good so far. It look good. Yeah? I also water this plant with it, and it look good. But as I said, I want to try it first before I share it. What were some of the things that were in that container? Like the cheney root, the sarsaparilla, all of those things were in it. And I was saying that if I can get energy, nutrients, strength, from these herb, then if I dilute it and water the plants with it possibly will work. Yeah, and so far the plants not die. Them look good. Yeah, so gardening can be fun, and gardening is fun, but it can become depressing when you make some of the same mistakes. Yeah, like not having water, access to water, or not, storing water, not maintaining the plants, not caring for the plants, not watering the plants. As I say, the corn need to be watered twice a day. Not allowing enough sunlight to come in your garden. Yeah, procrastinating and not pruning up the fruit trees. Yeah, those are some of the mistakes that we can make. So in conclusion, we talk about the plants need sunlight. We talk about access to water. We talk about maintaining the plants. We talk about mulch, which we will do another video about mulching. We talk about replenishing the soil. Yeah, we talk about clipping up the dry leaves and the dry stems. We talk about creating your own mulch. We talk about connecting with people. We talk about information. We talk about knowledge is key. Yeah? Don't procrastinate in having access to the mistake that I make. Yeah? I hope this episode is of importance to you as a beginner. I hope that you learn something. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your continued support. And most of all, I appreciate your presence, your vibe, your energy. Herbal Laws. See you in another episode. I'm gonna get my rainwater now. Yeah, to water the plants that are mulch.